With the second question, because there's an element of, I would say, culture there. When something happens to someone, it used to be the case that people want to jump into the scene and try to do rescue, maybe rush them to the hospital, or just try to resuscitate them. But recently with I would say the rise of social media, we've actually seen that more people are, I would say, turned towards sensationalism. People want to tell stories. People want to take pictures. People just want to hang around and see and hear what happened. And so many times someone just collapses and everybody's hands on their head and trying to hear what happened, or somebody falls. So what we are actually saying is that we're not, I would say, breeding a culture where people are much more eager to be witnesses rather than actually active participators in rescue operations. And see, at the end of the day, we can talk about the government and how they can actually help us, but safety is actually first an individual thing. It is first an individual responsibility before it becomes another person's responsibility. Now we're talking about government. People need to be educated on what to do when things happen. We see these things in movies, but the idea that we've seen it in movies and read it in a book, the idea that that's sufficient is false. People aren't aware of what to even do, and on the other hand, people are also scared to do what they are supposed to do. There was a case where someone collapsed. She was rushed to the hospital, and the person that rushed her to the hospital was arrested and accused of being the perpetrator of whatever happened to the lady that fainted. So people are scared of participating in rescue. Now, we need to, first of all, educate people on how to perform simple rescue operations. I'm not asking people to put their lives in danger. I'm not asking people to jump into a fire and try to rescue people. That's the job for trained professionals. But people should know how to do simple things like CPR. People should know how to, do a mouth to mouth. People should know how to respond when somebody hits their head on the floor. People should know how to lie them on their side and try to get them to breathe. There was an incident when a footballer collapsed on the field of play, and all the other footballers, all the other teammates, they were shocked. They didn't know what to do until someone came and put his hand inside the footballer's throat. He was aware that what was happening was that the person might have collapsed, but he also needed to breathe. And that singular act of opening his throat saved him 2-3 seconds, enabled the medical team to quickly rush to him and take him to safety. So yes, people are much more prone to just watch. This is where education comes in. We need a mass sensitization, right? Targeted at teaching people what to do. It may not look like it's having impact, but when you sing a message, often people are actually becoming more aware of what to do. And we've done it for the roads. We did jingles, we did adverts of how not to drive and drink, and now people know it's wrong to drive and drink. Even if they still do it, it's somewhere in their consciousness. So we need that kind of movement. And of course, you talked about technology, how we can leverage technology to improve not only navigability, but also safety. I like the fact that, they've spoken about how rivers actually change. Rivers change, the routes change, the depths change, even it changes, So there are places in River Benue where when it's dry season, you can actually see a heap of sand. It's visible. There's a heap of sand. If you came there during the rainy season, it was a free ride. But in the dry season, there's a different channel. So what are we going to do with tech? We need to employ low-hanging fruits. We have Google Map, that people who do transport services actually use to navigate their way. If you don't know somewhere in Abuja, you can just put the location and you can see how it takes you. We need to see how we can bring that to the boats. Now, I don't know if it already exists. Perhaps it does in Lagos, because Lagos is highly technologically advanced. But we need to see how we can incorporate sensors and monitors, right, that communicate locations to the stations that she mentioned. Now, At the same time, you know, it would have been much better for us to have agents and, you know, officers patrolling these waterways. But we're talking about 28 states. How much funding would that require, and would that be done, you know, very quickly? It might take a while for that to happen. But what we can do right now, currently, is that if we can actually incorporate technology that sends messages, you know, messages, distress messages, you know, updates to stations that are close by. What that would do is, without even going there, without even following these people around, you can actually see live status of these boats across the water. Okay. And these are things that are easy to do because, you know, they are Google enabled.
All right, thank you.